What's up everyone, and welcome back. Imagine pressing the power button on your computer, expecting Windows to load, but instead you're greeted with a blue screen, a black screen, or an endless restart loop. Your desktop never appears, your files seem unreachable, and Windows simply refuses to boot. It's a situation that catches a lot of people off guard because most users don't prepare for it until it's already too late. In this video, I'll show you how to prepare for that moment before it ever happens by creating a Windows 11 recovery drive. Then I'll walk you through exactly how to use it if your computer ever refuses to start. The best time to create a recovery drive is while your PC is working perfectly, not after it breaks. So let's get started. The only thing you'll need is a USB flash drive with at least 16 gigabytes of storage. Keep in mind that creating the recovery drive will completely erase everything currently stored on that USB drive, so if there's anything important on it, make sure you back it up before continuing. Once you're ready, click the Windows search bar and type Control Panel. If it's displaying the category view, change it to either large icons or small icons using the View by menu in the top right corner. This makes it much easier to access all of the available tools. Now look for Recovery. The icon looks like a small computer with a wrench. Click on it. Inside the recovery window, click Create a Recovery Drive. If the User Account Control prompt appears, click Yes to continue. The Recovery Drive wizard will now open. One of the most important options you'll see here is the checkbox labeled Backup System Files to the Recovery Drive. Make sure this option is checked. This allows Windows to include the necessary installation files on the USB, making it possible to reinstall Windows directly from the recovery drive if needed. Once you've confirmed it's enabled, click Next. Windows will take a few moments to prepare everything. Depending on your system, this may take a minute or two. When it's finished scanning, you'll see a list of available USB drives. Select the USB drive you want to use. Before clicking Next, double-check that you've selected the correct drive, because everything on it is about to be deleted. Now click Next. Windows gives you one final warning that all existing data on the USB drive will be erased. If everything looks good, click Create. Windows will now begin copying the recovery environment and the required system files to your USB drive. You'll see a progress bar showing the current status. During this process, don't remove the USB drive, don't close the window, and don't let your computer go to sleep. Once everything is finished, you'll see a confirmation message letting you know the recovery drive is ready. Click Finish. At this point, I highly recommend labeling the USB drive something like Windows 11 Recovery Drive and storing it somewhere safe, where you can easily find it if your computer ever refuses to start. Now let's see how to use it. If your PC won't boot into Windows, plug the recovery USB into the computer before turning it on. Power on the system. As soon as it starts, repeatedly press your computer's boot menu key. This key depends on your computer manufacturer. For many Dell systems, it's F12. On many HP computers, it's F11, although some HP models use the escape key instead. ASUS systems commonly use F8 or F9, depending on the model. If you're not sure, watch the very first startup screen because it usually displays the correct boot menu key for a few seconds. Once the boot menu appears, select your USB flash drive and press Enter. Your computer will now boot directly into the Windows recovery environment. The first screen may ask you to choose your keyboard layout. Select the appropriate layout to continue. After that, you'll arrive at the Choose an Option screen. Click Troubleshoot. Inside the Troubleshoot menu, you'll find several recovery tools that can help fix different types of startup problems. Let's go through each one. The first option is Startup Repair. This is usually the first tool you should try whenever Windows refuses to boot. Click Startup Repair. Select your Windows installation. Windows will automatically scan for common startup problems and attempt to repair them. Give it a few minutes to complete. If Windows successfully fixes the issue, your computer should restart normally. If it reports that it couldn't repair the problem, simply return to the previous menu and continue with the next recovery option. The next tool is System Restore. If your computer stopped working after installing a Windows update, a new driver, or a software application, System Restore allows you to roll Windows back to an earlier restore point. Your personal files remain untouched, while Windows settings and system changes are reversed. Another option you'll find here is System Image Recovery. If you've previously created a complete system image backup, you can restore your entire computer exactly as it was when that backup was created. That includes Windows, your installed programs, settings, and personal files. If none of those repair options solve the problem, the final recovery method is reset this PC. Return to the Troubleshoot menu and select Reset this PC. You'll now have two choices. The first option is Keep My Files. This reinstalls Windows while preserving your personal files such as documents, pictures, and videos. However, installed applications and Windows settings will be removed, so you'll need to reinstall your software afterward. The second option is Remove Everything. This completely erases the drive and installs a fresh copy of Windows. Choose this option only if you want a completely clean installation or if the Keep My Files option doesn't solve the issue. For most situations, Keep My Files is the safer option. Next, choose Local Reinstall. Since we included the Windows system files when creating the recovery drive, Windows can reinstall itself directly from the USB drive without requiring an internet connection. That's one of the biggest reasons why enabling the Backup System Files option during setup is so important. One final tip before we finish. Your recovery drive represents the version of Windows that was installed when you created it. If you later upgrade Windows to a major new release, it's a good idea to create a fresh recovery drive so it includes the latest recovery files. The process is exactly the same. I recommend keeping your existing recovery drive until you've successfully created the new one. Once you've confirmed the new drive works, you can safely reuse the old USB if you want. Creating a Windows recovery drive only takes a short amount of time, but it can save you hours of frustration or even prevent complete data loss if Windows ever refuses to boot. It's one of those tools you hope you'll never need, but you'll be glad you have it when something goes wrong. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more practical Windows tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.